6:30.
Taking a look at the top local stories of the day, a man was in court on child porn charges in McLean County. 22-year-old Drake Rivera is accused of engaging in sexual acts and filming with a minor. His bond was set at $1 million. Public Health reported more than 10,000 new COVID cases in Illinois. That makes over 465,000. The 7-day positivity rate is 9.6%. And the future of the Decatur celebration is in doubt. The board of directors says a lack of money and the impact of the pandemic have put things up in the air. The celebration has been running for 35 years. The race for the White House continues tonight. The votes continue to be counted. As for the electoral map, no changes from yesterday or earlier today. This is from the Associated Press. They have Joe Biden with 264 and President Trump with 214. We'll continue to keep an eye on that. In Delaware, the Biden team is prepping the stage for a primetime speech tonight. That will happen if the race is called for the Biden-Harris ticket. Meanwhile, the president still vows to fight the results all the way to the Supreme Court.
There's tremendous litigation going on, and this is a case where they're trying to steal an election.
It is clear that the Biden-Harris ticket will win the White House.
President Trump is still leading the vote count in the battleground state of North Carolina, and this morning, Georgia's Secretary of State announced there will be a recount. We have an update from the U of I. More than 60 faculty members are backing Chancellor Robert Jones. That's after an open letter published yesterday says it comes months after a student complaint that accused Jones of allowing anti-Semitism on campus. It went as far as saying that anti-Semitism is so pervasive on campus that some Jewish students have been denied an education. The faculty open letter supported Jones's response to anti-Semitic incidents on campus. That letter prompted around a dozen other faculty members to write the letter of their own backing the original complaint. Researchers at the U of I are one step closer to making saliva tests available to people outside of campus. They're testing a mobile lab for processing samples. Testing would be fast and could happen just about anywhere. It's called Mobile Shield. So as soon as swabs are collected, they can be taken into that mobile lab. This lab can process 10,000 tests a day. It can get results back to people within a day as well. The mobile lab can be used when the U of I gets FDA approval. They are still waiting on that. There are accusations of wrongdoing and voter fraud in this week's election, but this isn't the first time that's happened. Plus, nothing wrong with the weather we've had the past couple of days. Kevin is back in with another look.
This portion of WCIA 3 News is brought to you by Roofs by Roger.
You can't buy a best friend, but you can adopt one. 'Cause we're
I came into the basement just to find water down there. I called Mental. Someone came to my house within 30 minutes. It was a real relief to come home after having such a traumatic thing happen and have everything just be done perfectly.
Is your credit score getting in the way of things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit help you borrow up to $10,000. So check your eligibility on netcredit.com today without affecting your credit score. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
At Health Alliance, our insurance isn't made for just anyone, and that's what makes it special. It's made for people who want help staying healthy and coverage when they're sick, as well as new ways of getting care quick. It's made for families whose budgets are tight, but still get fevers in the middle of the night. It's made for young freelancers whose free time is rare, and seasoned business owners with people under their care. It's made for Illinois and headquartered here too. We're Health Alliance, and we're made for you.
She designed the dress, but can she budget for her future?
I'm not ready yet, but I want to be.
Help her get 100% ready.
The legacy of WCIA 3 is the commitment of bringing you the news about our communities with the latest technology.
We have a whole new way of telling the stories that impact our lives.
We take you right to the storm using the latest weather technology to keep you and your family safe, giving you the most accurate forecast when severe weather strikes.
Sports are about more than just the scores. We tell the stories behind the biggest named Illini and high school athletes.
We are changing the way you see the news, but one thing hasn't changed. Trust WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Most people wouldn't hitch a ride with a stranger. What do you know about your driver? Do you trust him with your life? 91% of Americans believe there should be mandatory rules and regulations for drivers of ride-hailing apps. Know your rights. Don't put your safety, your privacy, or your life at risk. Inform yourself about the hazards of digital hitchhiking. Do your research and think before you app. Visit rideresponsibly.org.
WCIA 3 News is brought to you by Transitions Hospice. Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty.
All right, good evening to you. Quiet night all across the region. No major weather issues to talk of here at all, as everything looks just perfect for us across the area. Temperatures during the day quickly warm to the 70s. At nighttime, they do slip down pretty quick. We're down to 57 now in Champaign, still 60 in Decatur and in Danville, but that's still good enough to, do the outdoor dining here. I know we can't go inside and do all that, but still support the local businesses by doing that. It's still going to be in the 50s here at 8 o'clock tonight, and we're going to see more of that. I can't believe I'm breaking this graphic out, but I just had to do it because I've never done it in November, and it's our ice cream melting forecast graphic because, hey, it's a thing. A few drips from that ice cream cone tomorrow when it's going to be 73 degrees. Yeah. It is possible. Or maybe you're going to, do your own grilling outs in the backyard, the back deck tomorrow, looking good in Pana, 74 degrees as we skip down to Herrick, a high of 74 with plenty of sunshine, and in Atwood as well, a beautiful 73 warm degrees. So if Saturday isn't a day, maybe you've got to work, maybe you've got other plans that keep you from getting out and enjoying things. Well, Sunday is going to be just as nice. So you've got either day to take advantage of there. And then we're going to even carry the warm temperatures into Monday. You're going to want to extend your weekend an extra day if you can, because 76 on Monday, that would be a record. 75 Tuesday, the problem is there, we've got rain coming in, and then the temperature's dropping off. As you can see on the future track, we're dry through Monday, and I even think the first half of Tuesday, but look at about 3 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon and evening, we see showers and storms lining up. We're going to have to watch that carefully. We're still a few days out, but just kind of given the circumstances and kind of how, you're in the mid-70s in November, and you're going to cool down, a front comes through, you get storms. We'll have to watch and see if a few of those can get to the strong or severe side. Of course, we'll keep you up to date on that. Otherwise, let's take advantage and enjoy the nice weekend ahead of us here. At 46 for a low tonight, clear, mild, and a little bit of a breeze. 73 for tomorrow under sunny skies and just about perfect. As always, the WCIA3 weather app ready to go for you. You can download that for free. It's got our radar on there, our live videos that you can check out, and much more. Just search WCIA3 weather. Okay, now let's go ahead and take a look at your 7-day forecast as the temperatures also are going to be just so nice. There's your thunderstorms Tuesday. Veterans Day is going to be quite a bit cooler. So we go from 75 on Tuesday to 53 on Wednesday, 56 Thursday, and maybe a few showers again by next Friday. But the next 4 days or so, take advantage. I wish we can bottle them up and save them for a time in December or January when we go. You remember that time in November it was 76 degrees?
And Kevin brought out the ice cream forecast.
I brought out the ice cream forecast. If you can find some ice cream this weekend, I encourage you to do so.
And send him a picture.
Send me a picture, yeah. Get the ice cream truck, what's the other thing?
The ice.
Icy thing.
Kona Ice, yes.
Yeah, Kona Ice guys. Yeah, there you go. They need to get out this weekend.
All right, Kevin, thanks. For the second straight day, a house has gone up in flames, but that's actually helping out firefighters in one central Illinois community.
Watch WCIA 3 for complete election coverage.
Income tax. This is a big one.
And up-to-the-minute results.
Results have been slowly coming in.
WCIA 3, your local election headquarters.
It's time to make your Medicare choices for 2021. And a smart choice begins with the right information. Your free information guide from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois will show you how you can have all of your Medicare benefits in one convenient plan with a low monthly premium. And that includes $0 copays for doctor's office visits. Call 1-855-325-5727 now to request your free information guide with no obligation. See how you can have all of your Medicare benefits in one simple plan, plus prescription drug coverage with $0 copays for some drugs at preferred pharmacies. Your plan may also include telehealth services, dental, vision, and hearing benefits, an allowance for purchasing over-the-counter health products, and more. Discover the benefit of Blue. Call 1-855-325-5727 now to request your free information guide.
Friday on the morning show, we showed you why training is essential for the Danville Fire Department. And Motivational Monday, we're checking in with the experts about improving your health. And we'll have your weather every 10 minutes on the 3s. We'll see you bright and early at 5 o'clock on Monday.
We pursue the truth no matter where it leads us.
Sometimes all it takes is one person to make a difference.
Guess this is going to be our new normal.
Can Judge Carmichael be unbiased?
There is nothing that you can do that's going to change what she's going through.
I chose to do the right thing. My character is still on trial.
Maybe it's time you let it out.
For black women, there are a whole other set of rules that do not apply to you.
All Rise returns November 16th on CBS.
I'm Jessica Coons. I have a passion for people and telling the stories that impact their lives. Central Illinois is my home, and I'm proud to be part of the legacy at WCIA 3. Trust our team to bring you the most reliable local news. WCIA 3, your local news leader. Staring contest.
You still got it.
I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
The news continues here on WCIA 3, your local news leader.
The Danville Fire Department did training this morning, giving firefighters real-life experience before responding to those life or death situations. They used a vacant, city-owned home. WCIA 3's Jamie Mays has more.
The city asked the Danville Fire Department would help getting rid of vacant structures by burning them as opposed to tearing them down.
If we burn them at a considerably significant expense, that saves the taxpayers money, which in turn what it amounts to is that's that many more structures a year they can budget and get torn down if we're helping them with some of them.
But before this empty home goes up in flames, it's being used for training. City aldermen and commissioners put on gear and learned about fire safety.
We will take them into the structure, we'll set a small fire, we'll show them how fire behavior works, how a fire works, what it does.
After that, more training, this time just for Danville firefighters.
Go in and act just as if they are at a real fire scene, and they'll do start to finish an investigation of that room and then tell us what they believe started the fire.
Any chance you get to do a live fire training, it helps you by learning just predicting what fire does. Fire is unpredictable all the time, most of the time, but just realizing how to read the smoke and knowing when to be inside and when to be outside.
Firefighters say they oftentimes have to fight fires in the winter.
People that don't have a place to stay will take boards off vacant houses and they'll go, live in there. There's no water, there's no heat. So a lot of times they're just starting a grill on fire inside of the house just to keep it warm.
So this is both a safe and useful way to get rid of empty structures. In Danville, Jamie Mays, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
The Danville Fire Department agreed to burn 3 buildings. The chief says they're still trying to figure out when the 3rd training will happen. Pandemic has already put a halt on many holiday traditions, but one is still going to light up the night later this month.
Here's some great news. One stop for all car and truck repairs, plus a great tire selection. Tires Plus is tires plus routine auto maintenance, plus electrical work, plus brake service, plus air conditioning repairs, plus check engine light diagnosis, plus tire rotation. The Plus is in everything they do, and they'll match any locally advertised prices. There's so much plus, we ran out of time to tell you about the great selection of tires. Tires Plus and all Tires Plus Auto Care. They fix everything.
For almost 50 years, Felco's provided the Midwest with the industry's best home renewal experience. In doing so, we're improving lives one home at a time. Before the winter weather moves in, take advantage of 20% off all windows, siding, and doors, and keep your family safe, warm, and comfortable all season long. Start your home improvement project with Felco today. 20% off won't last long. Hurry. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Felco.
Living for the weekend? Us too. Because this Sunday is all win and no risk. That's why new customers can bet risk-free up to $100 this Sunday. You don't want to miss it. All you have to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and sign up anytime before this Sunday to bet risk-free up to $100 on game day. This offer ends soon, so download the app now. Give yourself one more reason to get excited for game day and make it rain.
While interest rates are low, let's talk about the many financing opportunities at Prospect Bank.
Our full suite of e-products and reward checking accounts complement all of our lending services.
We will provide a customer experience that you will value in your banking relationship.
Open your account online and start earning your rewards with your new Kasasa checking account.
So apply today at bankprospect.com and join the movement.
We are Prospect Bank,
the Opportunity Bank.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, pet them, care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture, you can jump, yell, you can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. 'Cause we're connected.
The news continues here on WCIA 3, your local news leader.
COVID-19 may have canceled several events this year, but the Parade of Lights in East Peoria will not be one of them. The parade is on November 21st, and the Festival of Lights will open Thanksgiving night and run through January 3rd. This is the 36th year for that event. As we wait to declare a winner in this year's presidential election, many still remember one that was maybe even closer, and Illinois was right in the middle of it. That's next from the Vault.
WCIA 3 News is brought to you by Stouts Building Services. This job search tip is brought to you by the WCIA 3 Job Board.
If you find a company you'd like to work with, target 1 to 2 openings to apply for and work on crafting the best applications possible. When you apply for every open position, it shows you're more interested in finding a job than the right job. So focus on the positions you're most qualified for.
Go to WCIA.com and find your next job today.
Meet Lyle, a dedicated nurse and morning regular at Casey's.
Good morning.
To show how much we appreciate him, we make sure the coffee's brewed fresh and the donuts are ready to go. For Lyle and anyone who prefers their morning routine with something free. That's right. Now at Casey's, every 6th coffee you buy is free. Casey's, here for morning routines, here for good.
It's time to make your Medicare choices for 2021. And a smart choice begins with the right information. Your free information guide from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois will show you how you can have all of your Medicare benefits in one convenient plan with a low monthly premium. And that includes $0 copays for doctor's office visits. Call 1-855-325-5727 now to request your free information guide with no obligation. See how you can have all of your Medicare benefits in one simple plan, plus prescription drug coverage with $0 copays for some drugs at preferred pharmacies. Your plan may also include telehealth services, dental, vision, and hearing benefits, an allowance for purchasing over-the-counter health products, and more. Discover the benefit of Blue. Call 1-855-325-5727 now to request your free information guide.
Is your credit score getting in the way of the things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit offer fast and flexible lending. Borrow up to $10,000 and choose repayment terms that work for you. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
WCIA 3 is honoring those who served with a special presentation, Veterans Voices, Wednesday at 6:30 on WCIA 3. Veterans Voices, brought to you by these WCIA 3 caring companies. This is WCIA 3 News, your local news leader.
It was one of the closest elections in modern American history. The Kennedy-Nixon election was decided for Kennedy by 120,000 votes. Like more recent elections, especially today, it reflected a divided nation. Here's our Matt Metcalf from the Vault.
The vote difference between Kennedy and Nixon in Illinois in 1960 was a whisper. Charges that powerful Chicago Mayor Richard J. Daley had swung the election led the Illinois State Board of Elections to take a closer look at the voting in the days after that election. WCIA covered it all. This is an excerpt from a newscast in November 1960.
The Illinois Electoral Board, after meeting for over 2 hours this afternoon, has unanimously certified President-elect Kennedy's election victory in the state. Chicago attorney George Dapples, representing the Chicago and Nixon recount committees, presented the board with a 33-page petition charging election fraud. Dapples asked the board to render a fair decision, not divided along party lines. But the board's chairman, Governor William Stratton, immediately took exception to Dapples' reference to partisanship.
I don't think that's proper before this board, and I think the other state officers here would agree with me today. Our decisions in these matters, to my knowledge, and I've been a member of this board some 18 years, our decisions are not made on party lines, and I think that the inference that they are or might be is not in order here today, and I think it might be well if the petitioner, if he would care to, would withdraw that from the record.
The charges leveled in the petition were echoed and supported by Cook County GOP Chairman Francis X. Connell, who laid the blame for the alleged irregularities squarely on Chicago Mayor Richard Daley.
I have charged, and I want to repeat the charge, that the responsibility for this outrageous fraud rests with the leader of the Democratic Party in the city of Chicago.
Made a surprise appearance at the hearing and challenged the GOP charges of fraud, saying the Democrats welcome a bona fide look at the state's election returns.
If certain members of the Republican Party are sincere, and if they will file a recount for the presidential vote in the entire state of Illinois, the Democratic Party will join them and pay 1/2 of the expense of this recount. And we feel that's the way to find out the mandate of the people on November 8th if they're sincere in their desire in wanting a recount.
Following Daley's statement, the board members were heard, and Governor Stratton called for the vote that culminates over a month of post-election hassle.
It's been moved and seconded the canvass be certified. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
No. Ayes have it. Canvass so certified.
Thus, the state's 27 Democratic electors will meet at the Capitol on Monday, and the Illinois total will officially be in the Kennedy electoral column. The official popular vote margin, 8,858.
So neat to see that film from 60 years ago. The final vote tally showed a difference in favor of Kennedy by about 8,000 votes. That's it here in the state of Illinois. With this from the Vault, I'm Matt Metcalf.
You can join Matt for a full half hour of the memorable stories of yesteryear from the Vault. Airs Sunday mornings at 9 over on X49. It was another incredible day out there today, but is that continuing into this weekend? Kevin is back one last time to give us an answer.
WCIA 3 News is sponsored by Oakwood Restoration and Blasting Services.
Carter's is having a fall home sale. Store-wide savings on our entire selection of sofas, chairs, bedrooms, dining rooms, and accessories. Plus, free delivery and 1-year free financing. The fall home sale now at Carter's Furniture Urbana.
Retirement? It's been great so far, if you couldn't already tell. The wealth management team at Heartland Bank looked at my current investments and recommended updates and strategy that better fit my life. Then they took time to learn about my future needs and created a plan to meet them. When it came time to sell my share of the business, they guided me through investing the assets and setting up a trust for the kids. Now, thanks to hard work and the wealth advisors at Heartland Bank, my best days are ahead of me.
If you're looking ahead to retirement, let us help you plan.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we live where you live, so we honor those who serve and defend our country. To show our gratitude, we're offering great deals store-wide during our Veterans Day sale. Purina Beneful dog food, just $26.99. Badger One garbage disposals are $99. Peak Premium Antifreeze is just $2.99 after sale and mail-in rebate. And this weekend, as a thank you, veterans and active military members save an extra 10% at checkout.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
More mead ounces means more mead bounces. Get any papadilla like the new double cheeseburger papadilla for just $6. Papa John's.
There's this guy. He's got special powers. Because when he's around, everyone calms down. It's like he heals stuff with his bare hands. I don't know what he's got up his sleeve, but it's probably magic. My dad calls him Carl, but I call him the Furnace Whisperer.
Call Chief Power Service Experts at 866-EXPERTS or visit chiefpower.com for more details.
Happy Hour just got hoppier at IHOP with a $5 menu featuring pancakes, burgers, and more yum-yums. So while you can't buy happiness, you can buy hoppiness. iHoppy Hour, every day from 2 to 10 p.m.
Carter's is having a fall home sale. Store-wide savings on our entire selection of sofas, chairs, bedrooms, dining rooms, and accessories. Plus, free delivery and 1-year free financing. The fall home sale now at Carter's Furniture Urbana.
Watch WCIA 3 for complete election coverage.
Income tax. This is a big one.
And up-to-the-minute results.
Results have been slowly coming in.
WCIA 3, your local election headquarters.
Denver?
If you pay your bills, you should still get your services. Coming up tonight at 10, people at one apartment complex could soon be without water anyway, and they say management is to blame.
Cannot blame anyone for this incredible forecast, but you can give credit to me. I'll take it. Sunshine and 73 Saturday, 74 Sunday. And then the clouds and storms return next Tuesday. Great weather, at least through Tuesday, and then the bottom drops out. And we're back to what is typical for November.
I'm putting up my tree on Sunday night. When the temperatures drop a little bit in the evening, it's going up. I waited all week.
Nothing like holiday spirit and 74 degrees and sunshine. It's like you're in Florida celebrating.
Can't wait any longer. We'll see you at 9 and 10. Have a good night.